We've got to fight for a right to witness WWE's biggest party of the summer, that is. I'm Charles Rentham with my WWE SummerSlam 2021 predictions, taking place in Allegiant Stadium in Las Vegas, not to be confused with Divergent Allegiant, which was some post-apocalyptic future storyline thingy, and a series of books that we never got to see the conclusion of on the big screen, because they decided to go the route of Harry Potter, Hunger Games, and Twilight, and split the last book into two movies, and they thought, hey, those are so goddamn successful, let's do that with the last book. Oh wait, the third movie didn't do all that goddamn well, so we never got to see the conclusion. We never got to see more Shailene Woodley and Naomi Watts on the big screen, more in the pity, though we got to see them in other movies. They're terrific actresses. Enough about movies that I'm not sure that many people remember. Let's talk about WWE's biggest party of the summer. Hooray! Party! Honestly, I'm looking forward to most of this card, even with some of the repeat matches. I think they're going to deliver. At least I hope they do. Because if they fucking don't, there's going to be a very disappointed crowd sitting there watching. And I don't know if the crowd's going to be sold out. I don't know how the tickets have been selling. I did check a few weeks ago and they weren't doing all that good. But maybe they decided to do 2-for-1s. Or maybe people decide to spend more money. And who the fuck knows if that stadium's going to be super full. I hope it's loud. Because I really want this show to be good. Now, let me know your predictions in the comments, please. I will say, right now that I am recording this Tuesday afternoon, so if any matches get added within the next couple days, since this is taking place on a Saturday, excuse me for not having the clairvoyance to see into the future as opposed to having clairvoyance to see into the past, even though that's not how clairvoyance works, because the past is the past, and that's why it happened, such as the words of Rafiki. Anyway, let's talk about this card. So we have Styles and Omos versus Orton and Riddle. So Styles and Omos, or Almost Famous, Edward James Almost, have held the championships, the Raw Tag Team Championships, since Mania. And it's been kind of up and down all around. Come on, defense, work. And Orton and Riddle, they reformed RK Bros, much to the cheers of many and to the chagrin of people like me that don't really give a shit. Though I will say they need tag teams. And the tag team division's all around. NXT UK has some good tag teams, but it's NXT UK, and not that many people watch it. NXT has some good tag teams, and it's just a fucking dumpster fire creatively, and same with Raw and SmackDown. So anyway, they made this big deal about Orton and Riddle. Will they stay or will they go? Will they go their separate ways? Cue the Journey song that I'm not going to do due to copyright, but you can sing it to yourself. I think that Orton and Riddle have to win here, and then they could hold the championships for a little bit. They could lose here and then win the next night, but I think you want to have the fans, get energized early. I think this will end up opening the show. And the crowd will end up, eating it up. Hopefully, if they give them to Orton and Riddle, they can have a, decent length tag title run, though. This is going to end up with them, splitting up around Survivor Series or right after. They're going to feud into the Rumble, maybe right after the Rumble. And then Orton's going to do his own thing. Riddle's going to do his own thing. But it'll be a stopping point. And Styles and Omos aren't bad tag team champions, but they feuded with the Viking Raiders, and that's pretty much all they've fucking done, at least lately. So Orton and Riddle are going to win. Even if I don't want to see it, it's going to happen. Then Eva Marie with Piper Niven. Her name is Piper. Her name is Piper. Taking on Alexa Bliss, likely with Lily. Okay, I made no secret I'm not really a fan of either of these two, especially as far as presentation on Raw. I hate the supernatural bullshit. I can't stand Eva Marie. This is doing nothing for Piper. I don't know if this match is going to end up featuring that much wrestling. I don't really fucking care if it does. Now, if it does and both show off, especially Eva Marie shows off and shows she can do some stuff, then I will gladly eat a full plate of crow, which is probably going to upset PETA. Not that I care about upsetting PETA, stupid, hypocritical fucks. But I will not eat a literal plate of crow because it would probably start pecking my eyes out. It would be like the birds. I need the biggest seed bell you have. No, that's too big. Such as the words of Hans Moleman. But could the match end up exceeding my expectations? It won't have to try hard. They just have to not trip over their own goddamn feet getting into the ring or doing any moves. I don't care about this feud. I don't care. I don't like the supernatural bullshit. I expect Lily to suddenly grow to like 20 feet tall and just crush the ring, and thus ends the goddamn feud, and then they have to take a break to set up a goddamn ring and figure out how are they going to get the Ghostbusters to take out the Stay Puft Marshmallow Lily. So anyway, Alexa Bliss wins, I guess. I don't care. Maybe Lily will end up pinning Eva. Actually, they'll probably end up doing a tag match at some point, and Lily will pin Piper, just to cement the fact they don't give a shit about Piper. Alexa Bliss will win. Drew McIntyre versus Jinder Mahal. They've done all this stuff about Jinder he can't have his goons at ringside. You know, that long running thing where he's had his people there with him for like, what, 4 weeks? Maybe 8 weeks at the most? And Drew McIntyre has his sword. So I expect one of two things to happen. We're going to pull Suikoden 2, which is a video game I love, and the sword is going to come to life and try to hack off Drew's head, and it's going to distract him so Jinder hits the most devastating maneuver in all of professional wrestling. Surprise, roll up 1, 2, 3. Or Great Khali shows up and takes 18 years to get to the ring, much like he did when Jinder took on Randy Orton in that abysmal, Punjabi prison match. And Khali distracts Drew, and then Jinder hits the roll-up or the Colossus. I don't goddamn know. I think Jinder's going to win somehow because they've gone so hard for Drew McIntyre's sword. Stop thinking about it. I know you're thinking about it. That Jinder is likely going to win somehow. They're going to extend this thing, and at Hell in a Cell, or I assume no, they can't have Hell in a Cell. They'll have a Punjabi prison match in October. Just somehow, they will. Because I think Extreme Rules is in October. So they'll do something extreme, extreme boredom, like the Punjabi prison. Jinder will somehow win, which I don't want to have happen. Maybe another person will show up and be his crony. I don't know, Ricochet? Do they have other Indian talent on there? Like, that could join Jinder? Genuine question. I don't remember how many people they still have. So we have Seamus versus Damien Priest for the U.S. Championship. I think Damien Priest is going to win only because they've given Damien Priest so much shit, feuding with Miz and Morrison over the wetness and the moistness of John Morrison's dripstick. Have fun, seen or unseen. That I'm not here to kink shame much. But I think giving it to Damien Priest almost has to happen at this point. Because Sheamus has been champion, I believe, since Mania, if I recall correctly. And he's done well, but I just think almost that you have to give Damien Priest the win here. Because you kind of have to go into the fall with some new champions and some fresh faces and everything. Because let's be honest, the Raw ratings are in a goddamn, they're in the goddamn bottomless pit. I'm not talking about Boogeyman. They're just basically so far down there that I see Hillary Swank and the various crew working on the Earth's core. And how I'm seeing that in my floor, I don't know. I think I'm in trouble, guys, because I should be burning up right now. It's been nice knowing you. Anyway, Damien Priest is going to get the victory here. He could get it by DQ, and they could extend this thing to Clash of Champions. But I got Damien Priest, easy for me to say, winning, and holding the U.S. Championship for a bit. Edge versus Seth Rollins. Okay, this one's tough because Seth could win, and I don't think anybody would complain. That being said, I think Edge is going to beat him. I think they're going to build this feud a bit, even though Edge only has a few matches per contract. You build up to Extreme Rules, Seth Rollins beats him there, and then you maybe leave a rubber match up for Mania or something like that. But you have Edge win here, and then it just cements where Edge can still outsmart Seth Rollins, and then you go with that match, that rematch down the road. So I have Edge winning. I'm not going to be upset if Seth wins, but I have Edge winning. Then we get Bianca Belair versus Sasha Banks and likely Carmella and Zelina at ringside. So it's like 2.5 people at the most versus Bianca, who has a strength of 40 people. And I'm not knocking. She's seriously impressive. SmackDown Women's Championship. Provided that there have been rumors as of right now that that match was pulled from some house shows due to unforeseen circumstances, which hopefully doesn't mean that anybody got injured or contracted the virus and everything. It's not like either of them are But the whole point is at least if this match actually does end up happening, and it better, it really fucking better. They've been advertising on their social media. Sasha Banks, I think, is going to beat Bianca here. And then it's going to lead to Bianca being in chase mode again to gain the title back at either Clash of Champions, Extreme Rules. I'm not a fan of hot potatoing the championship, but with Sasha back, you want to give this crew something good to work with. You have to, give Sasha the championship. Bianca's had a good run, despite the bad creative and everything, and the lack of creative. If Bianca wins, it'd be cool, and she could just keep smashing Sasha repeatedly, and if you have fun seeing that, always delete search history, and be careful what places on the dark web you go on, because otherwise it'll end up like Unfriended the dark web. The whole point is Sasha Banks, I believe, will win here. Usos versus Rey and Dominic Mysterio for the SmackDown Tag Titles. I don't care. Rey and Dominic will win. Nikki Ash, I have to say it like that just for some reason. It entertains people and it entertains me. Versus Charlotte Flair versus Rhea Ripley. I still want Rhea to step on me. Repeatedly. I don't care how that makes me sound. Raw Women's Championship. I have Charlotte Flair winning, and I'm not happy about it. But I don't see this Nikki Ash reign working very long. And then she'll be almost a champion. Okay, that's offensive. I'm sorry. Charlotte Flair is going to win, and we are just going to be more disappointed because Charlotte Flair should not be holding the championship anymore in any subsequent years. Bobby Lashley with MVP versus Goldberg, WWE Championship. There is a small part of me that is very frightened they are going to give this to Goldberg, and I'm going to hate it. I'm going to absolutely goddamn hate it. I'm going with Lashley to win. I'm going with Lashley to get hit with one spear, a 2 count, and then he just destroys Goldberg and beats him and ragdolls him and everything, and that's it. Maybe this can be the end of Goldberg having any more matches in WWE. Even though I've heard that he has a couple more matches contracted for next year and even 2023 for some unknown reason. Lashley's going to win. Please let Lashley win. Otherwise, take all the stuff that he did with the WWE Championship and throw it the fuck away and just never refer to the WWE Championship again. It doesn't exist, and it never will exist again if Goldberg holds it. I don't even care if it's for a day. Keep it on Lashley until Mania 38. Roman Reigns with Paul Heyman versus John Cena Universal Championship. Roman. Roman's going to win. This, I will say right now, Sasha and Bianca, even if unless there's a bunch of bullshit interference, will be the show-stealing match and will probably have the best work rate out of any match on the show. I'm looking forward to that one. If it wasn't for the spectacle of Roman versus Cena, then Sasha and Bianca should main event again. But obviously Roman and Cena should main event here for the spectacle, the star power alone. Will it be a great match? No. Will they do some great things? Yes. Will it be something that, people talk about for good, bad, or indifferent? Absolutely. Roman's getting the victory. He's going to hold the championship. They could give it to Cena and then have Big E cash in right afterwards. Because yes, Cena will be there for a little bit. I think until maybe Clash of Champions or something like that. But they only have him for a little bit. There's no reason to break up Roman Reigns' nearly year-long title reign. Keep it on him for a while. Keep it on him until Mania 38. And then you transition away from that. But that's what I say. So those are my predictions. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Like, share, subscribe, Twitter handle in the description. I'm John Ritlin. I'll see you soon.